All right, guys, welcome. Live stream should be starting up now. This is going to be a quicker one, about 15 or so minutes, so make sure to leave some questions in the chat. But yeah, excited for this game. It's going to be a high total one. Again, it's sitting at, 53? Yeah, 53 over under. Here, I'll refresh this, but I believe it's still 53. You can see that Colts-Ravens game's still there. Let's see. So, yeah, always got to love high-scoring showdown slates, or when they're projected to be high-scoring at 53 still. I think both offenses can move the ball. Obviously, Tampa Bay probably going to be a little bit more popular. As far as news to go over, not a ton. Gronkowski out. We got that yesterday, I believe. And then Dallas Goedert, this was the big one we were waiting on. He is out. He won't be available. So, obviously, boost to Zach Ertz. I think Jack Stoll will get some more run. He'll probably play the number 2 tight end position. So, yeah, that's really the news to go over, guys. Yeah, make sure to leave some questions in the chat. Let's see. Is there anything else really newsworthy? I think it was just that. I think it was just Gronk and Goddard. Yeah, so we can go over some snap counts really quick. I'm not seeing any questions yet, but last game for Tampa Bay, Fournette still got a majority of the touches. He played 62% of the snaps. Gio was their third down back. 23%. Ronald Jones got a little bit there, 14%. Wide receiver, again, Evans and Godwin played a majority of the game, about 70% each. The surprise here, and I talked about in the video, was Tyler Johnson playing over 50% of the snaps. So even when they were playing from ahead, again, they were playing from a big lead that last game, and they still ran 4 wide receiver sets a lot. Tight end, O.J. Howard did out-snap Cam Brate. Almost 2-1, 60% to 38%, and O.J. Howard is much cheaper. On the Philadelphia side, we know it's going to be Sanders and Gainwell in the backfield, with Sanders getting majority of the snaps. Wide receiver, the big news here really was Quez Watkins played a lot more. He was about 50% last game, played 82%, or 50% 2 games ago, was about 82% last game. He's got the big play upside. And then tight end, right, Goddard, he is out. So Zach Ertz probably plays a little bit more. And I would assume Jack Stoll gets involved here at the flat min price. I do think he is viable. But yeah, guys, let's get it. Noah fade Brady. I think you could make the argument to fade him, right? I mentioned that on the Monday night game against New England, or was it Sunday night? I think it was Sunday night. I was like, hey, literally everyone is going to play Tom Brady. I think you can fade him. I think you'd make the argument in GBPs. Obviously not in cash games. Cash games you play him. But yeah, I do think you could fade him. I do. Obviously no rushing upside. Maybe this is a game where they score like 3 rushing touchdowns. Maybe Ronald Jones gets in. Maybe Fournette gets 2, right? So I do think in GBPs you can make the argument. He is pretty pricey. 12.4K is going to be tough to jam in both quarterbacks with like one more stud and feel really good about your lineup. DFS Whispers, what's up, guys? What's up, DK? Thought you had a Giants jersey on for a sec. Nope, just a Lake Michigan shirt. Yeah, definitely not a Giants fan, Lions fan, unfortunately. Devontae Smith, captain. So he's the guy that has the most upside, I'll say, for Philadelphia at wide receiver. Now, you're going to have to pay premium for him. Like, you're already going to have to pay up. He is 8.8K. Last showdown slate, it was, who was it? Eagles and Cowboys. And Devontae Smith actually got more ownership than Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb in high stakes. So the Sharps, last showdown slate for the Eagles played in, were all over Devontae Smith. 8-10 targets last couple of games. Again, he is the guy that I think has the most upside, will play the most amount of snaps. I'm perfectly fine going there in the captain, right? I think a majority of players tonight are going to go someone Tampa Bay in the captain. So I think just going someone with Philadelphia in the captain will make your lineup relatively unique. Why fade Brady? Ownership, he was like 92% last slate. So that would be the reason he's going to be super, super popular. Maybe this is just a weird game script where Tampa Bay has like 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns, right? AB captain, fine with it. He's a little bit more contrarian now at this price point. Like a couple other showdown sites, he was like 4 or 5K. Now he's 8.2K, but yeah, I mean, he's still running some deep routes. He's gone for over 100 yards in 2 of the first 4 games so far. So, yeah, I really think like my issue with the Tampa Bay wide receivers is it's hard to nail down who it's going to be, right? Is it going to be a Mike Evans game? Is it going to be a Godwin game? Is it going to be Antonio Brown? Now, all 3 probably, I would say all 3 have a relatively high floor, but trying to nail down which one's going to have like the big game, I think is tricky. So that's where I'm struggling a little bit, is like trying to trying to figure out which Tampa Bay wide receiver it's going to be. Ertz good at captain. I do think that's viable for GPPs. With no Dallas Goedert, I would think he plays more. He's been getting a healthy amount of targets last few games too, and this is a game the Eagles should be playing from behind. So I'm good at that in GPPs. J-Mar DK got a takedown last night without Doncic. Hey man, that's amazing. Is there enough good value to run Brady at captain and Hurts locked in too? I think so. There are some value, right? Let's talk about the value plays I think are viable here. Both Tampa Bay tight ends and Brate and OJ Howard. Now OJ Howard did outsnap Brate last game for what it's worth. Obviously both kickers are in play. Ronald Jones is really cheap, but probably gets 5 to 6 touches in this game. So if you play him, you're either hoping he breaks a long one or he gets in the end zone. Again, Tyler Johnson, I mentioned he played over 50% of the snaps last game. Did have 3 catches. I think he's firmly in play. And then, again, we talked about Ertz already. Obviously, I like Ertz a good amount. Oh, I'm only at Tampa Bay. Sorry, what's going on here? And then on the Eagles side, I think we have Ertz, Gainwell, and then if you want to get super, super contrarian, Jack Stahl, he's going to serve as the number 2 tight end. We know Philadelphia likes running 2 tight end sets, so I think you can make the argument for him at the flat min price. So I actually think there's a decent amount of value options viable on this one. Yeah. Let's see. Who is more overpriced, Sanders or Fournette? I'll say Fournette just because Ronald Jones is going to get 5 to 6 touches probably, maybe a little bit more. Giovanni Bernard's going to play a good amount of the third down snaps. So I'll say Fournette, but yeah, that's a good question. Rager or Watkins? Another good question. I would say, I think Quez Watkins is a little bit more upside. I would say Rager, playing out of the slot majority, has maybe a little bit of a higher floor. But I think Quez has that big play upside. We saw it in the preseason, right, where he broke that long one. So Quez for the upside. I think Rager a little bit safer. DK, was your... I wish I had a good answer for you because that's something I'm struggling on. It's really hard to nail down which Tampa Bay receiver is going to have the really big game. So I'm still deciding who I want to go to there. Hurts or Smith at captain is my route. Yeah, I think Hurts is very safe. I think Hurts is someone you can definitely consider in the captain spot. Usually for GPPs, I'm not looking to a quarterback. But if they have rushing upside, I do. And Jalen Hurts clearly has rushing upside. He can go for 70, 80 yards on the ground, right? He went for 82 yards game 2, 62 game 1. Like, he can definitely do it. So I think Hurts is firmly in play at the captain spot. Kenny Golladay and Sanders Kenny Gainwell and Sanders have very similar outcomes today. Sanders will have more volume, a lot more expensive low, and Sanders might be the key tonight. I think Sanders is pretty safe actually. Like, he's at a price point where he's not going to kill you. Even if they abandon the run, he's still involved in the passing game. So I think he's a relatively safe play. I don't think he's going to be super popular either. Let's see. Devonta Smith has 3 long touchdowns. Yeah, the Eagles, I swear, have like 50 touchdowns called back. Like, I had 2 weeks ago, I had the Eagles stack. I had a Ertz stack, and that one Zach Ertz touchdown got called back with Tyreek. I had like a full game stack, that Kansas City-Philadelphia game. You had like 3 Eagles touchdowns called back. Fournette or AB? So that's a good question. I'm going to say Fournette is a little bit safer just because he's a running back and probably guaranteed more touches. I think Antonio's got a lot more upside than Fournette. Pricing is tough tonight. I think it's a night where you might want to be smart, Captain Ertz or Watkins. I think that's fine. I think you're fine going to someone cheap like that. Again, I do like Zach Ertz. I think he's pretty safe. You have more Brady or Hurts. I only make one lineup. So, yeah, fade at Mike Evans. He has Darius Slay on him tonight. Do you think Darius Slay is still elite right now, though? That's my, obviously, I'm a Darius Slay fan. He was on the Lions, but I think he's a little bit past his prime. Like, he's still a solid corner for sure, but that's not going to make me get off Mike Evans, I don't think. Captain Ertz with AB Godwin, Hurts, Sanders, and Smith. No issue with that. Seriously. Yeah, I would think Evans. I would think he goes on Evans, but again, that's not like, I don't put too much weight into that. I'm not going to avoid Mike Evans because Darius Slay is going to be on the majority of the game. Is OJ Howard viable? Yeah. He actually outsnapped Cam Brayton is cheaper. So no Gronkowski. Those 2 are the tight ends that are going to get a majority of the work. And OJ Howard's cheaper. Sup, DK? Can you do 4-2 with Philly's main guys? I think it will get you a unique lineup. Giovanni Bernard. So the reason you go to Giovanni Bernard here is if you think Tampa Bay plays from behind. He's game flow dependent. Same thing I said about Nyheim Hines. Now, again, I rolled the dice in Nyheim Hines last night. It didn't work out, and I knew that was a risk, right? If the Colts were going to be playing from ahead, I was basically dead, and that's what happened. So I think Giovanni Bernard can have upside, but I think you need Tampa Bay to fall behind in this game, which is possible, right? We saw it last game. The Colts are 7-point dogs, and they were playing from lead the entire game. So Gio, game's flow dependent. I think you only go to them if you think Tampa Bay falls behind early. Can you fade Brady on FanDuel? I probably wouldn't on FanDuel. What do you think of Captain Hurts with Godwin, Fournette, Ertz, Smith? Yeah, fading Brady on FanDuel is a little bit... Like on DraftKings, I think you make the argument. On FanDuel, it's a little bit tougher. Would you play Fournette in cash? Here's my issue with Fournette. Ronald Jones is still going to get some touches, right? You probably expect 5 to 6 touches from Fournette on the ground. And Giovanni Bernard's going to play majority of the third down snaps. So Fournette, he is a little bit involved in the passing game, but I think there is some risk. Now, I would think we probably get around 15 touches from Fournette, so that makes him a pretty safe play. Captain Devontae Smith with Brady, Hurts, AB. Yeah, I think that was pretty solid. Ertz at captain and cash. Again, yeah, that's a tough one. Like I was thinking about, I don't play cash games, but I was just thinking about that in my head. Like he's really cheap, and like I don't see a way Ertz fails unless he gets injured because he's going to be their clear go-to tight end, and without Goddard, that's a pretty big boost. I still think the quarterback and the captain is probably the way to go, though, in cash. Ronald Jones or O.J. Howard? Yeah, that's another good question. I'll say O.J. Eagles versus pass defense not been bad. It's the run that's been killing them. Yeah, two QBs need to say it's definitely the safe route. In GPPs, you can always get away with fading one. But I think for sure the safe route is going to be to play both. Godwin tonight, yeah, I'm having a tough time trying to nail down which Tampa Bay receivers have the really big games. I like all three. I wish I had a better answer for you there. But yeah, I like Godwin. Jones or OJ. So like if OJ is going to outsnap Brate and run more routes, then I think OJ small lean to him over Ronald Jones. Sanders greater than Fournette. Yeah, Sanders is coming, I think, at way less ownership than Fournette. I have some concerns with Fournette. Again, there's 2 other running backs that are going to see the field. Ronald Jones, like I said, probably 5 to 6 touches. And you're going to have Giovanni Bernard out there for a lot of third downs. So there is some risk with Fournette. And if for some reason Tampa Bay falls behind early, you're probably going to see a lot of Gio. So, yeah, I would say there is still some risk with Fournette. I think you can make the argument to fade him. I think he will be popular. Would you trade Kyler, Kupp, and Knox for Rodgers, Travis Kelce, and Gaskin? So you're giving up Kyler, Kupp, and Knox. That's tough because I just don't know what to make of Gaskin, right? That Miami backfield is like Gaskin barely played 2 weeks ago, and last week he just got 10 catches. So that one's a tough one. I probably would keep Kyler, Kupp. Brady or Hurts cash captain. I think it's pretty close because Hurts got the rushing upside, but you can I would say Brady is going to be projected for more. I don't have a super strong lean there. Do you like Tyler Johnson for a fair amount of targets today? Well, so here's the thing. He played over half the game last game, and they were playing from a massive lead. So I would think we get similar snaps. Now, 2 games ago, we only played about 20%. So if we go back down to 20% from Tyler Johnson, then you're probably going to get a couple targets. If he plays half the game again, I think he has upside to get 5, 6, 7 targets. So it depends what Tampa Bay does, but based on what we saw last game and with them playing from ahead and 4 wide receiver sets a ton, I think you can have some confidence in Tyler Johnson. Back quarterback and play. No, I mean, if you're making 150 lineups, you can do it. It's never something I would do, though. Why 2 Bucs pass catchers, you think? I wish I had a good answer for you. Yeah, which 2 are most likely to score? I wish I had a good answer for you. I would say, Evans and Godwin are probably more the red zone targets than Antonio Brown, but you could just run a quick slant Antonio Brown, so yeah. Rager or Watkins, so I got asked that earlier. I think it's really close. I think Quez has a little more upside. We saw it in the preseason. He can break a long one. Rager, not really going to run the deep routes as much. More, I would say, a little bit of a safer option playing out of the slot. Fournette or AB. So I think Fournette is still a little bit safer than Antonio Brown, but I would say Brown is more upside. And we've seen a couple of big games here from Antonio Brown. All right, guys, last minute. I know this is a quick one, but I appreciate you guys coming to check it out. I wanted to get a live stream in, even if it was short. Fournette, Suckup, or Godwin and Gainwell for cash. I'll lean that second one. I think Gainwell is definitely viable in cash. Even though he's not going to play a ton, it's DraftKings full point PPR, and he's, when he's out there, he's going to be running routes. DK breakout NBA. Yeah, I'm doing a Patreon live stream in about 30 minutes for NBA. Are Brady and Hurts good plays for the Monday slate? Yeah, I think both quarterbacks would be like the full slate mean. Yeah, high total game, one of the higher of the week. So I think you can make the argument to go to either of those guys for like the full slate. But all right, guys, I'm going to call it on that. Appreciate you coming to check out the short live stream. Good luck tonight. Hopefully you guys win some big money, and I will see you guys back here on Sunday.